So my name is Catriona Leahy, and the work I have here at TULCA are a series of light boxes, Bog syntax, and a piece called Bog Thing, assembly for the Symbiocene. And the work emerges from a kind of a long-standing interest, I suppose, and investigation of the peatlands in the Midlands of Ireland that have become degraded due to industrial extraction. And I've explored this site through largely through the process of analogue photography, so exploring this kind of relationship between the black box of the camera or the dark room as a space of kind of latent potential, but also as a space of where things are suspended in time, and also the peatlands then as a space of preservation. I think of it as an archive. I think of it as a repository that holds, information of times past. And in the TULCA festival, the work here is more focused, I suppose, through the process of digital, where I'm again exploring, I suppose, a means of mapping or surveying the landscape through another lens, and that is LiDAR technology, albeit I'm using quite a layman's LiDAR, which is to say that it's using an iPad device to 3D scan the bog. So it's very much a kind of a close reading, I would say, where I am standing in the landscape. My movements pivot and turn and move with the LiDAR iPad scanning app. And so the work kind of emerged then from that process, where I noticed the resulting image, the resulting three-dimensional image, was quite akin to that of an amphitheatre or a forum, or like a parliament or a space where people might gather. And it led me to think about the landscape and its agency or not in the fashioning of policy and decision making. And so the work really speculates or provokes a question to the viewer about what agency might the landscape hold still, and in our time of kind of ecological collapse, I suppose. And so it invites viewers to think different forms of kind of connecting with and communicating with the landscape. I think it's, the TULCA festival provides an incredible kind of space in which various different art practices and forms of knowledge and intersections of knowledge and different disciplines can overlap and are brought into dialogue with one another. And so I think the salvage agency, and in particular, the events that kind of coincide with the festival, provide those platforms for people to kind of really understand, our place and our agency in maybe thinking through, this time of crisis, and I feel with the work that's presented in the different locations, brings those kind of intersections and those dialogues together. I think what I'd like people to take away from the work here at TULCA, and in particular from my work, is and maybe it's suggested in the titling as well, but also visually. But Bog syntax, for example, suggests this kind of sense of language or code. The three light boxes kind of take the form of a taxonomy, if you like. So again, kind of connecting to that notion of the archive and the idea of the bog as one incredible ledger that holds and accounts for our history and the bad, the good and the ugly. And I think the work, I hope, might prompt people to think that, well, the landscape or the and ecologies kind of hold their own language that we have yet maybe to decipher, and to think about what ways we might listen to or speak to the land in a more connected and relational way. And I think with the 3D scan of the bog, that very much kind of resembles that of an amphitheatre, that connects to those ideas of forum, of gathering, of assembly, to again, prompt the viewer to think about what ways can we act together and relationally to understand our world better and understand how we might move forward.